Engineering, Your Future in Saudi Arabia, Opportunities and Insights. So let's begin the session with the recitation of Qiraat.
In the name of Allah, the entirely merciful, the especially merciful. O you who have believed, when you are told, space yourselves in assemblies, then make space, Allah will make space for you. And when you are told, arise, then arise, Allah will raise those who have believed among you, and those who were given knowledge by degrees, and Allah is acquainted with what you do.
Okay, so perfect. So I know that today the people who are gathered here is someone who is so much excited to study abroad, especially someone who is very much interested in the field of engineering to study in Saudi Arabia, of course. Anyway, I believe that the session is going to be like amazing because we have an expert with us, a person who's just amazing in this area. So before going to our session, I just want to begin with giving a little introduction about our global pathways for someone who is new to this. So Global Pathways is a kind of initiative which aimed at helping students to explore opportunities to study abroad. And the core group consists of the students and experts who are currently studying or have already studied at prestigious universities across the world, who are also representing a diverse programs and academic pathways. So through mentoring, guidance, and also through sharing experience, Global Pathways is committed to supporting students and shaping their higher education. So anyway, I forgot to introduce myself. So today I'm going to be your moderator. Myself, Fatima Mehek Adam. I'm currently pursuing Erasmus Mentis NOHA Joint Master's degree in International Humanitarian Action at University of Warsaw and University of Groningen. So before going into our session, I just want to show you a few housekeeping rules. As you can see here, you should please maintain decorum throughout the session. Also, please mute your microphone unless to ask a question during your Q&A session. And finally, questions sent through the chat room will be answered after the complete panelist segment. So I hope you will keep this one in mind. Okay, so we are moving to the most excited session. Yeah, this is our keynote speaker. We all know that it's going to be Mr. Amal Amin Sinath. So he completed his high school education at International Indian School Al Jabail KSA. He also earned his bachelor's degree from Amal Jyoti College of Engineering, Kottayam, Kerala. He also went to pursue his master's at King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals at Saudi Arabia, where he's currently doing his PhD in mechanical engineering. So I know that everyone is so much excited to hear from you. So we are very honored to have him with us to share his valuable insights on higher education opportunities and experience in Saudi Arabia. So I would like to welcome Amin to share his experience and everything with our beloved and people around here.
Thank you so much, Fatima. I hope I am audible.
Yes, you're audible and visible.
Okay, perfect. So shall I start with my presentation?
Yeah, sure. You can share your presentation.
Yeah, so good evening, everyone. Uh, I'll just give a short introduction on, Fatima has already given us an introduction about me. So just to start, my name is Amal Amin Sinath, and I'm a KFUPM graduate student. I'm currently pursuing my PhD in mechanical engineering from King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals. I've done my high school and my undergrad back in India, Kerala. And I've come here as a fully funded scholarship student, international scholarship student, and I've completed my master's. And right now, I'm continuing my education in KFUPM as well. So, moving up to these slides. So, this will be a general way I'll be taking you through. So, initially, I'll be introducing some of the top and highly ranked QS universities in Saudi Arabia, followed by diving deep into the academics to know more about the departments, the colleges, the programs offered. Then, moving on to the admission details, and finally, the facilities and the benefits available and being provided from each of these universities. So one of the way I'll be taking you through is that I'll be first introducing you some of the top universities in KSA, and then explaining in detail what are the programs offered and how you will be able to approach and all these kind of informations. So the first university will be actually King Abdullah University of Science and Technology. So this is one of the most highly recognized universities in KSA. People come here for a variety of disciplines, including biological, environmental science, various fields of engineering, etc. So this was one of the newly, I would say, established universities back in 2009, mostly focusing on graduate level and research based. That is for your masters as well as your PhD programs. It's actually ranked 97 globally in the QS rankings and among the top three universities in Saudi Arabia. Uh, as I said, in general, I'll be all these universities that I'll be introducing today. There will be no tuition fees and will be fully funded by the university itself. So whenever I introduce the universities, just remember that you won't be paying any fees and you will be admitted on a full scholarship. So the various disciplines that are being offered in King Abdullah University of Science and Technology, KAUST, is in the field of material science and engineering, mechanical, electrical, chemical, environmental science, and so on. So all the fields you need and all the fields that are already available in the educational institutes in India are also being available and in a more wide spectrum. It could be seen in such universities. So, depending upon your field of interest, your expertise, you may apply to any department, and you may hopefully be able to study in such universities as such. So moving on to the second university, it's actually known as King Saud University. This is one of the oldest universities in Saudi Arabia. I would say it was the first university established back in 1957. So this university, unlike the previous one, is offering undergrad courses as well. So you may apply to your undergrad, your master's, as well as your doctoral programs. And it's also ranked 143 globally and the second best university in Saudi Arabia. And this university also offers, unlike engineering, courses in medicine, pharmacy, dietitian courses, and all such courses are also being offered in such university. So it's actually a wide. This university offers a wide range of opportunities for the people not only trying to pursue their education in engineering, but in various other fields like medicine as such. And funding, as I said, it's all funded by the university. You may apply to the international scholarship programs and you may get your tuition fees waived off and you may study absolutely free, including they may provide you a monthly stipend, housing, as well as healthcare as such. And the various programs offered, as I said, mechanical, electrical, civil engineering, all types, all the fields of engineering. Plus, you may also find pharmacy, medicine, and biological science, in addition to business administration and education as such. So moving on to the third university, this is one of the famous universities in Saudi Arabia, as I would say. It's King Abdulaziz University, KAU, which is also a very old university founded back in 1967. And then it was a private university, so then later got converted into a public university as such. And it's ranked 133 globally and the third best university in Saudi Arabia. So the thing that I'm introducing, the reason I'm introducing such universities is to show you that the Saudi Arabian universities are ranked pretty high in the QS ranking index. I would say more higher than many of the IITs and the NITs in India. So just to show you that the education that we receive in Saudi Arabia is almost you can compete it with the education you get in West, in Europe as such. So this is the reason why I wanted to introduce such universities and to show you that the rankings actually matters a lot when it comes to selecting a university as such. And in this university also, you may find variety of programs, including for your MS and PhD, like engineering and applied science, medicine, health, computer science, all the fields of engineering, and plus people who are interested in Islamic studies can also apply to this university. So the fourth university is actually my university. It's called King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals, KFUPM. So I'll be giving you a deeper insights on what are the facilities available in KFUPM and how to apply the departments, the benefits, the scholarships, the housing, etc. will be explained in detail in this coming slides. So KFUPM, as I said, it's also one of the oldest universities founded back in 1963. And it's situated in a place called Tehran in Saudi Arabia, where it's close to one of the, I would say, the richest company in the world. I'm sure most of you have heard Saudi Aramco. So we actually share boundaries with this great company as well. So it has an integrated campus with academic buildings, housings, etc. So you have your student housing and student dormitories inside the university as such. So you don't need to go out of university to search for such accommodation and other purposes. And the university has a diverse, vibrant, multicultural community of faculty. Now, people thinking, studying in Saudi Arabia, you might have a perception that the faculties here are all Arabs or anything like that. So that's not the case. So we have faculties from 61 nationalities, actually. We have faculties from India, from Pakistan, from US, from Europe. So just to get that stereotype out of your mind, I just wanted to introduce that the faculties who are teaching in such universities are exceptionally talented and from various parts of the world as such. So they might be able to share and they might be able to share the experiences and expertise at a wider scale. And moving on to the colleges and the departments, similar to every university, we have several colleges under KFUPM. So the first one being the College of Engineering and Physics, the College of Petroleum Engineering and Geoscience, College of Chemicals and Materials, College of Computing and Mathematics, College of Design and Built Environment, KFUPM Business School, and the College of General Studies. Now moving into the departments in detail. So the College of Engineering and Physics contains 5 different departments. So the aerospace engineering, the control and instrumentation engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, and physics. And they are offering the courses in both MS level, master level, as well as PhD level. So you may apply according to your degrees. You may apply to MSc programs, and you may also apply to direct PhD programs. That is, as soon as you completed your masters, you may apply to a direct PhD program. It's an integrated 5-year program. That is, your masters and your PhD will be combined. So the duration of the degree is actually 5 years. So you may even pursue your direct PhD here as well. And these are the fields at which the university is offering the MS as well as the PhD programs. Now, moving on to the College of Petroleum Engineering and Geoscience. It consists of two different departments, petroleum engineering and geoscience. And you may also apply to this department to pursue your MS. For example, in petroleum engineering, you may apply to petroleum engineering. And for geoscience, you may apply to geology, geophysics, and environmental science. And the people interested in PhD may also go forward and apply to a PhD programs as well. College of Chemicals and Materials are responsible for handling departments, including chemical engineering, chemistry, bioengineering, and material science and engineering. Unfortunately, the bioengineering department is a newly formed department, which is currently being offered for the MS programs. So PhD program, hopefully in the coming years, it will be open. But for the rest of the 3 departments, you may apply to your PhD programs as well. For the College of Computing and Mathematics, again, the departments coming under this college are computer engineering, information and computer science, industrial and systems engineering, and mathematics. Mathematics, there are 2 different disciplines you may apply for your master's, applied statistics, as well as the mathematics subject as. And for the MSc programs, you may have variety of applications and variety of options for you. For example, for computer engineering, you may apply to the computer networks, computer engineering, AI, cybersecurity. You may apply to such fields, whichever you feel interested in as such. And the PhD programs are also being offered for such fields as well. Design and build environment. The departments that come under are architectural engineering, architecture, city and regional planning, civil and environmental engineering, construction and engineering management. Unfortunately, the civil engineering is being only offered in the PhD level, but in the coming months, I would say, or the coming years, the PhD programs would be offered for other the other engineering programs like the architectural, the city and regional planning as well. So for the KFUPM Business School, now the people who are interested in business may apply to their MSc program in business studies, in accounting and finance, information systems and operation management and marketing. Unfortunately, the KFUPM Business School does not provide any scholarships. So if you are interested in studying your business in KFUPM, so it will be a paid course and you will be asked to pay the semester fees. And that's how it happens currently at KFUPM. And the industrial and academic partnerships. As I said, we share boundaries with many companies and around the area Dehran. So this is actually the companies that are very close to our university, and including top companies like Schneider Electric, Air Products, Aramco, SABIC, SIPChem. So the projects that are being handled by the professors in KFUPM are actually in close collaboration with such companies. So you will be working under a professor basically in KFUPM, and the professor will have their projects funded by such companies. So that's actually a good thing. You will be able to solve, I would say, the environmental, I mean the industrial problems, and you might get in touch with several people working in such industries as such. And we also have several partnerships with top universities in the world, including MIT, NUS, Georgia Tech, Cambridge, and Stanford. So we actually share research and collaborate with such universities on a larger scale as such. Now moving on to the admission details. So if you want to apply for your Master of Science degree or your PhD degree, the basic things you would want to know, you would want to submit during the time of admission is actually your bachelor's degree. For example, if you're applying for Master of Science, you will be having to submit your 4-year or 3-year bachelor's, depending. In India, engineering degrees are basically 4 years, and the other bachelor degrees, including Bachelor of Physics, BSc Physics, BSc Chemistry, are basically 3-year bachelors. So you may apply with your 4-year or 3-year bachelor's degree. And the GPA is the one which you have to be carefully looking up to, onto, because the grading criteria here is pretty strict. So they actually look for higher GPA students. So if you have a GPA of 3.5 and above in a scale of 4, basically the GPA back in India or Kerala is actually out of 10. So you might want to score something above 8.5 to actually get an opportunity to apply to such universities. Getting a GPA of 9 and above will give you sure shot admissions in such universities, plus 2 recommendation letters. This is actually, most of you might know, because in most applications, you might want to submit recommendation letters, preferably from the faculty who taught you back in your bachelor's or your master's, anything. So, and the mandatory documents you would need while applying for the admission. This is actually the common documents. Like, I'm not focusing on KFUPM right now. I'm focusing on the admission in Saudi Arabia as a whole. So whenever you want to apply, make sure you have these documents ready with you while you start applying for your applications in KSA for your master's or PhD, whatever it be. So you need to have a copy of identification. That is for, of course, international students. You would need to submit your passport copy, scanned digitally, your official transcripts. For example, if you have completed your bachelor's and you're applying for your master's, you need to submit your the scanned copy of your official bachelor's transcript, which you'll be getting from the university once you have graduated. And for example, if you're applying for a PhD degree, make sure you have your bachelor's as well as your master transcripts. As I said earlier, you need to have recommendation letters, probably 2 to 3 recommendation letters from your faculty. The next thing is known as a statement of purpose. This is a place where you will have to invest, I would say, uh, more. Because the statement of purpose is actually a document that shows what you have done in your bachelor's and what your future goals will be. So most of the admission committee will be reading your statement of purpose, and they will be majorly focusing on the research goals, your career and research goals. So make sure you do your homework and prepare a well developed statement of purpose when you submit to such universities, because this is one of the most important document you have to be careful about. And again, TOEFL, IELTS, or Duolingo score sheet. It's actually mandatory. Over the previous years, the English certifications were not mandatory, but now it has been made mandatory, and you have an option of submitting your TOEFL or IELTS or Duolingo score sheet. So make sure you have these mandatory documents with you as such. And the other non-mandatory documents includes your degree certificates. You may submit a copy to the administrative departments once you receive your admit. So you don't need to worry about your degree certificates. So the things you need to make sure you have while you apply for your education in Saudi Arabia are almost these what I have listed. So make sure you have all these when you start your application or before you start your application. And how to apply? This is the this basically provides this link basically provides information on the graduate programs in my university, I would say. And it's just basically simple. For example, if you have shortlisted the university you would want to apply, just type the university's name and the graduate programs. Just go into the graduate programs and you will get all the information you need before you start applying, basically. So one should do their homeworks pretty good, because we actually are here to guide you once you get the admit or through the admit process. Choosing a department, choosing the field you would need to study is actually the responsibility of the students who would want to pursue their education. So we will not be able to help you in that case, because that has to come out of you. So the thing we can do is actually to guide you to different universities once you have finalized on what you have to or what you have decided to take. So these are some of the websites you can check into, so as to know and so as to gain much knowledge on what are the programs, their deadlines, the mandatory requirements, the course requirements you need while you apply for the universities. And how to apply? It's basically simple. So this is just a snapshot of what you'll be going through. All these universities, as I mentioned, you will have to create your own account. It's just a common thing. You'll have to create an account. And once you created your account, you'll be able to fill the details like the scholarships. I mean, for example, if you see this list back in KFUPM, you could see you would be applying to the international scholarship program. KFUPM is actually offering variety of programs, including self-sponsored, local scholarship, international scholarship. So I would say you should be focusing on the international scholarship program, where you will be getting all the benefits and the scholarships as such. So make sure you select the international scholarship program. And then what comes next is actually selecting your field of interest. For example, if I want to apply for Master of Science, I'll be choosing MS. And the department, it may vary. You may apply to the electrical engineering department, mechanical engineering, civil, chemical, petroleum, anything. You need to select your department. And then the concentration. As I said, KFUPM offers a variety of concentrations. For example, in civil engineering, you may have an option to select the following concentrations. For example, geotechnical, structures, transportation, water resources. Similarly, in mechanical, you might have concentrations like dynamics and vibration, fluid mechanics, material science and engineering, renewable engineering. So these are the concentrations you need to apply to. So that's what I said. Before you start applying, make sure you know all these things and you have fixed your mind on what you should be applying into. So this actually comes from the participant. Your area of interest should be your choice. So these all informations will be available in the websites of various universities, and make sure you have your mind fixed before starting your applications. The entry requirements, as I said, this actually comes once you get the admit. So even though if I start explaining this, you might not understand or you might get confused. So I just don't want to explain much in detail. But once you get the admit, we will be able to help you get your certificates attested, how to approach the embassy, what all are the attestations you need. So this comes after you clear the admission process. So don't worry about the visa procedures, because it can be done once you get the admit. So you don't need to worry much about it. So the first thing, the primary objective, the primary motive is actually to get admitted in the university. The entry requirements comes after that, and it can be done easily as such. So I'll be sharing, for example, if someone is highly motivated, they have an admit, and now what comes next is the entry requirements or the visa requirements. So I'll be sharing this file, and I'll be guiding with guidances on how to get your visa stamped and how to travel to the kingdom once you get the admit, hopefully. So the scholarship benefits, as I said earlier, all these universities that I have introduced provides fully funded scholarships. That means you don't need to pay any tuition fee. You will be getting a monthly stipend on top of it as well. So you will be not you have no tuition fees. Plus, they will be giving you a monthly stipend. So that's actually kind of a good opportunity as such. So and the stipend actually varies between the courses you take. For example, the MS students might be getting around 2,500 riyals, I would say, in Saudi Arabia. And the PhD would be getting a much higher amount. It also depends from universities to universities. That's the reason I said for applying to the universities, you need to choose the right university for you, and also need to go through their procedures and the benefits and all these kind of details. So you'll be getting and you'll be having an idea on where to apply, what all are the opportunities and the benefits you'll be getting. Plus, you'll be getting free furnished air-conditioned on-campus housings, and that means you have free accommodation and you have yearly tickets. So you don't need to pay out of your pocket to visit back to your home country. So they will be providing you yearly tickets to and fro as such, plus medical and subsidized meals. So basically, all the stipend you get, it's basically your savings. Everything else for your smooth studies and your graduation, everything will be provided by the university. So you do not need to pay out of your pocket to get such a degree. I mean, the education. Other benefits include, for example, since you will be coming after your bachelor's, you will be actually given RA or teaching assistant or research assistant jobs. So once you come to any of these universities, you will be handling such things. That is, you will be teaching the bachelor students. So this is why they give you a stipend. So you have an opportunity to teach the students as well as gain more knowledge out of it as well. And you will be allowed to participate in conferences, international conferences, I would say. If you have a strong research background and your proposals gets accepted, if wherever the conference is around the world, the university will be funding you to attend the conference with nothing paid out of your hand. So that's a good opportunity as well. And an opportunity to work in research projects and get financial benefits, safe and secure environment, free textbooks. This is one of the main advantage you have in such universities. You don't need to buy textbooks. The textbooks will be provided from the department or from the university free of cost. So that's in case you have to buy a textbook that costs thousands of rupees or maybe hundreds of riyals, the university is going to bear it, and they will be able to give you such facilities as such. So these are some of the way the university is trying to attract the students and to show that you have a secure and a safe research environment back in the universities in KSA. Student accommodation, this is just some images to show you what all are the facilities available in my university, I would say. So you have student accommodations for you. The PhD students will be getting single rooms, and the master students will be getting shared rooms. And you don't have to pay any rent. The electricity, the water bills, everything is actually free of cost as well. And there is actually student restaurants you can approach to have your meals and all those kind of things free of cost. Again, you don't need to pay out of your hand, you don't need to go out of university to manage such things. So these are some of the additional benefits what the university is providing to make sure that you have a comfortable life in the university. We also have actually a student mall inside the university as such, and various other sports facilities which you can indulge into. So these are some of the common things that are available in all these universities, as I mentioned earlier, and in my university as such. So I hope I was able to give you an insight about the education in KFUPM and what to approach and how to approach. And that's the end of my presentation. Now I would like to have people ask doubts and people ask their queries so that it can be an interactive section, and I'll be able to explain more in detail in such cases. Yeah, so this is the snip of what I wanted to convey through this webinar. And yeah, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you so much.
Okay, so thank you, Amal. That was such an informative and very detailed presentation. So I know that most of you will be having a lot of questions. So before going to our Q&A session, here are some of the housekeeping things that you should follow. So please go through it carefully and try to share your questions in the chat box. Or if someone wants to unmute and speak, you can just raise your hands, or otherwise, it's better to share your questions in the chat box. Okay, already we're getting a lot of questions, so I will start reading the questions for you, Ami. Okay, so here we have a question. What would BE graduation?
BE means, I think it will be bachelor's, if that's what they're referring to.
I think so.
Yeah, so yeah, you have bachelor opportunities in the universities as such, but I don't know the facilities for international students to apply. So the people who will be applying to bachelor's education in such Arab universities are mostly the local residents and the local Arabs, I would say. So there isn't much provision for the international students to apply for their bachelor's education. And moreover, there is no scholarships for bachelor's. You'll have to pay out of your pocket to get your education. So the best advice is probably do your bachelor's back in your home country, then apply for a master's or a PhD in such universities so that you get the benefit out of these universities in the form of scholarships.
Okay, perfect. So here we have a second question. Is a good resume needed for admission?
Is, sorry, the resume?
A good resume is needed for admission.
Yeah, yeah. As I said, some of the documents that your professors will be looking closely into is your SOP as well as your resume. So the higher your exposure is, for example, the number of internships you have applied, the number of conferences you have gone into, the papers if you have published, and all these actually things actually add up to your the profile. So a good resume, a good research statement of purpose is actually two of the most important things that professors need so as to decide whether to select you or to reject you. So yeah, you need both of those documents and you need to do your homework well to prepare that as such.
Okay, perfect. Again, we have a question related with undergraduate studies. Please
Uh-huh.
list out requirements here, the requirements for admission to undergraduate studies.
Yeah, for undergraduates, the main thing that you'll be need to focus is your SAT exam. You will have to have a good SAT score so as to get admit into KFUPM or any other universities as such, and they check your English proficiency requirements as well. And on top of it, you need to have a high score in your back in your high school, in your 12th. So these are the three requirements: your English proficiency test, SAT score, and your 12th marks. These are the three important things that you need to be I mean you need to focus on.
Okay, perfect. So our next question is, I want to apply to post, but their application closes by Jan 15. My engineering will complete by April or May. Will be this okay?
Actually, you may apply. You can apply, but you need to have your transcripts. That means you need to take the transcript from your current university and you need to submit because they need your transcript. It's okay if you are about to graduate, you may apply, but make sure you have your transcript and your SOP and the other things prepared in detail. But I would say if your engineering is getting over in the month of May or June, you may apply to the spring intakes as well. That is for the next year. So it totally depends upon you, but make sure you have all the documents listed earlier so that your application will be complete. Any of the document you misses, your application is going to get rejected. So make sure you get your transcript and all those mandatory documents before you start applying.
Okay, perfect. So our next question is tuition course free for undergrad in KFUPM?
No, KFPM doesn't offer scholarships for or tuition fee waiver for undergrads. That's what I said. You'll have to pay out of your pocket and study. So that's one drawback I would say of all these such universities. You will have to pay the tuition fees.
Okay, okay. So here we have a question which is not related with engineering. Is a
Okay.
master's in education? I think maybe he or she, I don't know, is asking like whether the master's in education is offered in Saudi Arabia. Can you please write the question? Like, make it clear, possible.
Yeah.
Or if you could answer, you can just answer.
Actually, actually, I couldn't get the question. Is masters?
He's the master in education. Like, yeah, it's not very clear. This is how it's written in the chat box. If the
Oh,
person it's like XYZ, if you could like, write the question clearly, we can go with that question again. Okay, we have another question.
yeah.
Does KFUPM provide undergrad programs?
Does KFUPM provide undergrad programs? That's the question,
Yeah.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
KFUPM provides undergrad programs in all the engineering fields, in mechanical, in electrical, you name it, there is. But as I said earlier, there are no scholarships. You will have to pay for your undergrad. So yeah, I think that answers the question.
Okay, okay. So we have another question. Do we need a research paper to improve our chances in MS admission in KFUPM?
Research papers, not necessarily, because most people know in bachelor's you will not have an opportunity to publish papers or such. But or of course, papers are an advantage. If you could publish, if you have a paper published earlier, it of course gives you an advantage over the others, but it's not mandatory. The main thing that the professor focuses on when hiring you for masters is your resume as well as your statement of purpose. What do you intend to achieve in KFUPM and what are your career goals? So that's what you need to focus upon. Again, anything other than that is an add up to your profile. So yeah, that's it. It's not mandatory, but if it's there, it's good actually.
Okay, perfect. So here, Amisha, like she written as Bachelor's of Engineering, but the question is not clear. So it will be great if you could, write the question clearly so we can just, easily understand what it is. So we can go with the next question. Any college with masters in electronics domain?
Yeah, all these universities, as I said, for example, KAUST, King Abdullah University, King Saud, King Abdulaziz, even my university offers courses in electronics engineering. So there are, as I said, all these university offer their engineering courses in all the domain. So you will be able to find all the fields in such universities, especially in KFUPM. Yes, we do have electronics engineering and electrical and electronics, as well as electronic and communication engineering masters and PhD.
Okay, perfect. So next question is, can you specify visa in Saudi Arabia?
That's what I said. Like, yeah,
Mhm.
the people who will be coming here for as an international scholarship student, you will be getting a student visa basically. That's the reason I didn't want to focus much on it because it's pretty confusing when you hear it for the first time. So the first thing that you will be needing to focus is actually the admission. The second thing is actually the visa. So visa, once you get the admit, it will be more easy for you to understand. For example, you'll have to get your certificates attested. That I would say HRD attestation. That means HRD Norca attested back in your home country. Then it has to be attested by the Ministry of Education and Ministry of Foreign Affairs back in the Saudi Embassy in Delhi. Then only they will process your details to the visa stamping. So these are some of the procedures they follow to get the visa stamp. Again, but I don't want to confuse the people with the visa procedures. The first thing you'll have to focus is on the admission, then the visa, you will definitely be getting it. And the duration from when you apply to getting the visa is basically 20 to 25 days. So that can be taken care of. So the first thing is getting an admit. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, perfect. The next question is, what is the future scope in the terms of placement for international students?
The placement includes like you may, unfortunately, these are actually research-based universities. So they will be pushing you and focusing you to take PhD. For example, if you come for your master's, you will be having the opportunity to get free PhD enrollments in the current universities as such. For job, I would say there are career fairs here happening once every year. So you may go and submit your resumes. And for the people who are done with their PhD, you may also apply to various postdoctoral positions in SCASE or anywhere around the world. Yeah, so these are some of the ways in which you can focus on and which you can uh, I mean, in which you can focus more and you can go into the ways once you finish your graduations.
Okay. So the next one is, may I know the fee structure and what percentage is required for getting admission?
So that means for bachelors, the fee structure is approximately yearly you'll have to pay 20,000 reals. The percentages now, the university is actually welcoming more international students. So if you are ready to pay the fees and if it's manageable for you, then you want to make sure that you have a good profile when you apply for your bachelor's. That means you need to have a good score in your 12th. You need to score high in your SAT exam and you need to have an English proficiency test. Moreover, for the new admissions, KFUPM also conducts an English as well as a mathematical exam. So you have to, based on what you have studied back in your high school, so that you have to clear that exam as well, in addition to these mandatory requirements. Yeah, so that's how you can get an opportunity for your bachelor's in KFUP.
Okay, so our next question is, I am currently doing BTech in Computer Science, seventh semester in Kerala, and I am planning to do Masters in Jeddah. Can you please help me how to do it? Is it MTech or MS? My BTech will be completed by April. Currently, I have 8.44 till my sixth semester, my
Yeah,
BCG.
basically here, MTech is actually the degree that the Master of Technology, it's offered in Asian countries, I would say. But when you move to Europe or Western countries or in Middle East, it's actually called MS. So it's the same thing there, MTech, but here when you say it, it's called Master of Science. So you don't need to worry about that. And the next thing is that if you are planning to do your masters in Jeddah, uh, if you were able to complete your education by April, you may apply to the fall intake. That means you will have to submit your documents. Now the applications will be open in this November for the August intake. That means 2026 August. You will be coming here on 2026 August. So the applications will be open from November onwards. So you need to start applying for that with the transcripts and all those mandatory documents. And 8.44 GPA, it's actually not bad, but still, if you have 2 more semesters with you, if you can improve your GPA and come somewhat near to 8.8, 8.9, yeah, that would be great actually.
Okay, perfect. So again, we have a question related with the scholarships for undergrad in KFUMP.
No, no, there is no undergrad scholarships in KFUPM. They don't provide it actually.
Okay, okay, perfect. So next one is, which is better, applying internal scholarships or external scholarship? Like which scholarship has the more chance to get accepted?
Actually, there is nothing like internal scholarship or external scholarship. It's actually called international scholarship or local scholarship. So if you are an international student, you are back in India or anywhere, you may apply to the international scholarship program. That means all the benefits I've shown in the slides, you will be getting it. And the local scholarships are the ones that if you are currently in Saudi Arabia or in the kingdom right now, you may apply to the local scholarship also because you hold a valid IQAMA ID. So I would say getting, the screening process will be same for both the local as well as international scholarship. And in order to have an upper edge over the others, you make sure you have a good research proposal as well as a good CV. Yeah, so the screening process is similar for both, but I would say you might have an easier admission process in local scholarship, but again, you need to have a good profile as well. So yeah, that's it. There isn't, I would say there isn't much difference, but according to your personal opinion. For example, if you are settled in India, you would like to apply, then the only way you can apply is actually international scholarship. You cannot apply to local scholarship. For local scholarship, you need to have a valid ICAMA ID when you apply. So yeah, that's the difference basically.
Okay, so next question is rated with the minimum CGPA for the admission process, like full registration.
Yeah, there isn't any minimum GPA for registration process, but they have a cutoff, as I said, 3.5 out of 4 or 3 out of 4. That makes it actually, when you compare it with the Indian grading standard, it's actually 8.5, I would say. So anything above that is actually good, and anything below that you might get rejected in the screening phase as such. So you need to have a pretty good GPA to apply to such universities, because they will be judging you based upon your GPA as well as your statement of purpose and the resume. So yeah, you need to have these three documents. You need to have strong profile if you believe you can apply for the international scholarships.
Okay, so the next one is, can we apply for MS, CS, AI, CY when we are in the seventh semester?
Yeah, you can apply for master's program, but the thing you need to make sure is that you should have a transcript with you. That means to show that you will be graduating in a semester or such. But make sure you get your transcript from your university while applying, because since transcript is a mandatory document, if you are not able to submit it within the deadline, your application will be rejected because it will not move forward. So you can apply even if you are about to graduate, but make sure you have all the mandatory documents before you apply.
Okay, perfect. So next one is for postgraduates considering a doctorate. How does PhD life abroad differ from that at Indian institutes? Also, what is the average completion time for the scholars overseas? Is it similar to 4 to 5 year typical in India?
It's actually the same, because PhD in such universities are actually, I would say, 4 years. They say 8 semesters. You'll have to complete your coursework and your research by 8 semesters, and you might get an extension of 2 more semesters as such. And I would say is that, like, here you have a lot of exposure, because you will be directly working in such a way that you will, as I said earlier, the industry will be coming up with a problem, and your professors will be in close tie up with the industries. So you will be actually working up on an industrial problem, and such a way you can get more exposure. Plus, there, as I said, there are faculties from various countries. So the coursework, the lectures which you take will help you get an additional exposure. Plus, attending international conferences, etc., will boost up your confidence and your knowledge as well. So you have much more exposure when you compare to the Indian universities. So if you are considering, this is actually a good place for you to apply as such.
Okay, perfect. So next question is, what is the difference between project-based and thesis-based masters, and which one should I opt for and why?
Uh, in many of these universities, actually fundings are for thesis based projects. Thesis based projects actually means, like, you will be in your initial semesters, you will be defining a problem. Your advisor will be giving you a topic to work upon, and based upon the novelty of the work, you will have to do the thesis work on your own. But the project is something related to, I would say, what the I mean, in your bachelor's you have done final year project. So you do something, you build something, you make a prototype. That's something known as a project based work. So thesis based is actually more advanced and focusing, and will be beneficial if you are planning to take a PhD. Project based is something people take if they want to move into industries. So that's the difference between two. Project based is actually an industrial based project, and thesis based is something actually research based. If you would need to take if you plan to go for a PhD or a research or an academic positions in the future.
Okay, so next question is computational chemistry available as PG after chemical engineering in any of the universities?
Yeah, in KFUPM, I would say yes, there is computational chemistry, but I'm not quite familiar about the concentrations that are available in KFUPM. in the chemistry department. But as I said, you may visit the department websites and you will be able to get more information on the programs offered, the professors working in such field, and what are the current projects they're working in. Yeah, so that, as I said earlier, you need to do the homeworks, because since we I myself can create a pathway for you to such institutions, but the topics you take and I mean the field you need to work on, you'll have to decide it, and you'll have to decide upon it and do the homework. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, so the next question is like not very clear for me, but I will repeat it. SAT
Yeah.
score and board CBSE for almost confirmed admission for undergrads.
SAT score, yes. The higher the SAT score, the greater are your chances of getting into KFUPM or any other universities. Yeah, plus your 12th board exams matters a lot. And as I said earlier, once you're applying, the KFUPM will be conducting an English as well as a maths exam. So you need to score high in that exams as well to make sure that you will be having a sure shot admission in the university.
Okay, so again, we have a question related to visa processing, but I think you already answered that question.
Yeah.
Okay, so now the question is like, what about entry requirements for residents to get into undergrad in KUPL? Do they have to write, I don't know the correct pronunciation, Tansili and
And Kudrat. Yeah.
Kudrat?
Yeah, previously they used to conduct exams, and they used to take in the scores of Tahsili and Kudrat. But from what I have known, nowadays they have removed it and they solely depend upon the SAT exam. So you need to write SAT, SAT, and the other things, as I've already mentioned, are your 12th board exam marks and the exams conducted by the university as such. So I believe Tahsili and Kudrat are not important for undergrad admission in KFUPM, but for other universities in KFUPM, it might be needed. So you need to check on the websites of the university where you want to apply and check whether they need SAT, SAT, or do they check in the scores of Kudrat or Tahsili. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Next question is, any part-time PhD for working professional?
Yeah, you have the opportunity to apply for part-time PhD, but as I said, the PhD here in KFUPM or any universities are you need to invest a lot of time. So I don't know, depending upon your the work schedule, how frequent can you come and visit the professors, how frequently you can work on your thesis. So it could be difficult. So what people do here is actually they take a short break and they try to pursue their PhD here. Part-time PhD, it's actually possible, but it's actually paid. You need to pay as well. There is no scholarships for part-time PhD. If only you get enrolled into a full-time PhD, you will be able to apply to the local or the international scholarships. Yeah, so that's something you need to be clear about and be sure about.
Okay. So the next question is, are there direct entry PhD programs in any Saudi universities where I can apply to a PhD program after I finish my bachelor's degree? I'm in my second year of BSc Data Science and AI on a scholarship in Qatar with a 4.0 GPA. Also, how can we check whether our university is recognized in order to apply for master's or PhD programs?
Yes, you can apply to the direct entry PhD programs. As I've said in my in the slides, you may apply to an integrated PhD program. It's actually 5 years. So you will be doing 2 years of coursework and basically 3 years of research, or 2 years of research, depending upon the work. You can apply as soon as you graduate from your bachelor's. Moreover, your GPA is pretty good. And I hope the universities in Qatar will be recognized by the Saudi universities. And that should not be an issue. So once you graduate, you may apply to the direct PhD program. And nowadays, many direct entry PhD students are getting offers and admissions in KFUPM. So you can definitely apply for the program.
Okay, perfect. So next question is, what is a transcript?
Transcript is basically a document that has your the courses you have studied in each semesters and the grades you have received, and it also lists out your GPA as well as SGPA. cumulative grade point as well as your the overall GPA. So that's a document which you can get from the university if you say you want to apply, and it's a document that the university provides to you once you graduate. So this is what a transcript is called. It's actually your mark sheets, I would say, the subjects and the corresponding grades you have obtained in each semesters.
Okay. So the next one is there any age limit for masters?
No, for masters, you don't have any age limit. Since it's a PG program, you can apply anytime. No age limits.
Okay. So what is the percentage of acceptance for undergraduate programs?
As I said, now the universities are opening its door for international students. The your performances, I mean your performances has to be good, and your grades, the marks, everything has to be excellent because you will be competing with international students. So make sure you have a very good profile. If that's taken care of, yeah, you can get an admit in KFUPM.
Okay. So the next one is for undergrad scholarships. What is the minimum SAT score? They want the
Uh,
exact number.
Yeah, the SAT score 1350 is actually the cutoff, and you will have to score something around 1500. Uh, Something above 1500 is actually a great score, and will make sure that you have a sure shot admission. So you will have to aim somewhat between, I would say, 1450 and 1500.
Okay, so the next one is for 3.2 CGPA, GPA on a scale of 4 in mechanical engineering. Which university will be suitable for masters? If not, KFUPM.
3.2 GPA, as I said, it's not that bad of a GPA, but again, if the for it depends upon the number of intakes that is being offered in the semester. If there are many students with more higher GPAs than you can easily get rejected. You can apply definitely with 3.2 GPA, and but it does not guarantee a sure shot admission. So I'm not sure which other universities, because all these universities have a cutoff of 3.5, I would say. So not sure. Maybe you need to check up on other universities as such.
Okay, so again, we have same questions related with, Gujarati and Tasili,
Yeah.
the score, they are from the score. So, yeah, you already answered,
Y-
right?
Yeah.
Or if you want to answer, you can answer.
As I said, in my university, in KFUPM, for bachelors, you don't need Kudrat and Tahsili, you just need SAT. But there are many universities other than KFUPM which need Kudrat and Tahsili for the undergrad programs. So if you are specifically trying to apply to KFUPM, you don't need to write those exams. But if you are trying to get admissions in anywhere else, you need to actually appear for Kudrat and Tahsili.
Okay. So, any good preparatory SAT courses?
As I said, I'm not in a position to answer that question because I did not write that exam as such. Because for masters, you don't need SAT. You'll have to check it up on the internet and other sources to get the. You may find SAT courses textbooks in Jarir bookstores, I would say, and other courses offered online. But you need to check upon that by yourself.
Okay, so the next question is, if getting 90 percentage above in the CBSE as well as Institute of Saturn IELTS, the Syrian Kudras is enough.
It's good if you are applying for universities other than KFUPM. It's actually good. But for KFUPM in particular, you need SAT and IELTS. As I said earlier as well, previously they used to take in the scores of Tahsili and Kudrat, but now the university is focusing more on IELTS and SAT. Plus 90% above in CBS is actually a pretty good percentage. And if you clear a SAT with high score and a good IELTS, will have and improve your chances of getting an admission.
Okay. So next one is for UG programs. Do I apply the next year when my 12 board results are released, or do I apply on the basis of predictor scores? When exactly does the applications open for 2025-2026 batch?
For the UG programs, you need to apply once you have cleared your 12th board. I think so, but I'm not sure about that. And regarding the application procedures, KFUPM in specific has two applications, I would say. You may apply for the spring as well as you may apply for the fall intakes. So for that, you need to check their undergrad websites, and the informations regarding that will be provided, and the requirements as such will be provided in detail in the websites. That's what I said. I was focusing more on the graduate programs because I came here for graduate, and I'm currently doing graduate courses as well. So for UG programs, I have I would say a slight knowledge on it, but I might be wrong. But for to get correct, I mean the exact informations, kindly visit the UG websites of any university you are particularly interested into. And if you have doubts, even after reading that, yeah, then you may contact, and I may contact the people or other sources to get the doubts cleared.
Okay, perfect. Next one is an English proficiency certificate enough in place of IELTS?
I think that means like you are the medium of instruction of your previous institute was English. No, you need an IELTS or TOEFL or Duolingo. The English proficiency certificate from your previous institute will not be enough.
Okay, so again, we have repeated questions related with SAT and then PhD working professionals. And then, okay, how much does it cost annually for an engineering undergraduate program? I think you
In
already answered this.
KFUPM, I would say I said earlier as well, it's 20,000 reals per year. And for other universities, it can depend. Basically, it depends upon the credit hours and the subjects you're taking. So it can vary from universities to universities, and the exact figures will be actually given up in the website. So I hope you can check that up online and get your doubts cleared.
Okay, so yeah, the next one is like the earlier question. Is there a PG program, Masters in Education, being taught in KSC, and which university provides it and how to get in there? Is professional certificate allowed?
I'm not sure about master in education. I think you have asked, for example, MEd. That means it's like a teaching program. I'm not sure about that, but I think neither of the universities I have mentioned in the slides offer master in education, I would say. They offer master in science in various engineering and science disciplines and PhD programs. So, is provisional certificate allowed? Yes. For example, if you are a continuing student, I mean, a student who is about to graduate, as I said earlier, you don't need to submit your bachelor certificates or any certificates. You just need the transcripts while applying. Certificates come after once you get the admit, so you don't need to worry much about the bachelor's or your degree certificates at the initial stages.
Okay, so as the time is limited, I will try to go through all the questions quickly. I have a GPA of a 9.0 out of 10 or 3.6 out of 4. Will I get the scholarship? Also, does admission into KFUPM or any such uni guarantee the scholarship? Second one, while studying MS or PhD, can I work as intern or work anywhere else in any external company?
For your first question, yeah, 9 out of 10 is actually a pretty decent GPA. You can get into KFUPM if you apply for the international scholarship program. You cannot get internships in external companies, but it has to go. You can get actually internships, but it has to go through the university. Your university has to approve the internships to be done, because working externally in a company is actually prohibited since you will be coming in student visa. So it has to be approved by the university and your professor, so that you go through legally, and definitely you can get internships in companies. So it's possible actually, but you have to go through the university, I would say.
Okay, so the next one is demand and masters in sustainability and environmental management courses in KFUPM and difference in MX and MS courses.
Okay. I'm not sure about the demand in sustainability and environmental management, but I think it's actually a pretty hot topic in the industries nowadays. And MX is actually, I would say, subject based. For example, if you want specific exposure and specific knowledge in not as mechanical engineering as such. For example, if you want to work in desalination or something that is very specific to your work, you might take up an MX. But MS is actually in general, it's actually more recognized degree, I would say. MX is actually the degree that is being recognized, I would say, in the kingdom. So if you plan to apply for anywhere for PhD, or if you want to work in any foreign companies outside KSA, I would definitely ask you to go for the MS course rather than the MX course.
Okay, perfect. And there is a reminder because we just have like 5 more minutes left. So we will try to complete the questions which is already shared. And I request to you to, to share more questions because you can connect to him personally because we are having very less time. So I request you, to send new questions. Okay, so we have another question. What all should I do for scholarship in KFUPM when I finish my 12th?
As I said, as soon as you finish your 12th, you'll be applying for a bachelor's, and KFUPM doesn't offer a bachelor scholarship. So it would be best if you do your bachelor's back in your home country, then apply to a master or a PhD program in KFUPM, where it is actually funded and you'll be getting a scholarship.
Okay, so next one is in which engineering field like computer science does KFUPM give scholarship?
The KFUPM actually gives scholarships in all their masters and PhD courses. Uh, it doesn't need to be computer science. If you are a mechanical engineering student, if you are an electrical, civil, whatever the field you are interested in, the KFUPM offers its scholarships, I would say, in the master's and the PhD level. But nowadays, people are more focused on the direct PhD program. So soon after you finish your bachelor's, you may apply for a direct PhD program. So that's what university is also more focusing nowadays, and they are about to actually scrap off the master's program soon. So the master's program is going to be paid soon. So what I would recommend is, soon after you finish your bachelor's, I would recommend you to apply for a direct PhD program to get the scholarship.
Okay, so next one is for bachelor's degree in computer science after CBSE class 12th in Riyadh Indian School. Like, what is the best completely free university college you would recommend?
I'm not sure about any university that provides that there is no tuition fees or provides scholarship for your bachelor's. If there is any such universities, you will have to research it upon. And I would say that if you are interested in a specific university, try to visit their undergrad page, and you will have all the documents related to where and how and what are the procedures you need to apply. So I am really unaware of the university that gives free education for bachelors. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not. I don't have much information regarding that. You need to actually look up it in the websites.
Okay, so for undergraduate, as we know, SAT plus interview marks will decide admission. Could you please share your knowledge about the admission interview and percentage between SAT and interview?
As I said, I didn't talk anything about the undergrad programs. The interview is actually for, I would say, is actually for the PhD students. Interview, I'm not sure if there is an interview for bachelors, but SAT score, yes, you need to have a good SAT score, as I said earlier. But I can talk with a bachelor student who is studying in to know whether there was an interview or not. But I'm not sure. I haven't heard about anything about an interview in KFUPM, I would say, in specific. So SAT scores, yeah, it matters, and I personally did not have any interview as such. So I'm sorry, I'm not able to uh, give you a clear idea regarding that.
Okay, so with one more question, I think we are going to conclude it because already we crossed the time. We have a lot more questions to be answered. We'll be sharing his Instagram ID and LinkedIn connection at the end of the session. Okay, we have one more question. If a
Yeah.
student has 95% in class 12 ISE, but due to some financial reasons, they had to take a year gap in their studies, can they still apply for undergraduate in computer science? Will the gap have a major disadvantage? The student has taken up online courses like Python by Google in that time.
Actually, year gap is not a problem, but you will have to state that in your. For example, you're applying for my undergrad. I don't think year gap is an issue, and plus additional knowledges or the certification courses which you have take might add up to your profile. So that's actually a good thing. But year gap, I don't think it will be an issue. But again, as I said, if you are unsure and if you are not clear regarding that, you may contact the undergrad coordinator, or you may mail the university to get an idea, because this procedures and the requirements vary from university to university. For example, KFUPM doesn't consider a year gap as an issue, but maybe some other universities consider. So you need to mail, or you need to check physically on such universities to make that it's not a problem, so that your admission or your application doesn't get rejected.
Okay, perfect. So by this, we come to an end of our Q&A session. That was such an amazing session because we had a lot of questions, and I'm happy to see that most of you are very enthusiastic to know more about the things related with this. And I know that some of the questions are not clear, but already we shared his Instagram ID in the chat. So if you want to connect, just connect him through Instagram. So now it's my pleasure to invite Mr. Naufrat Musa, the Vice President of CG International, to deliver the recognition and remarks.
Thank you, Mehak. Thank you so much. I'm audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Could you please stop sharing and stop sharing that slide so that I can. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. And it was very crispy and clear session by Amal. So we should recognize Amal for that. I think there is a certificate for that, right? Amal, Akmala, could you please share that? Regarding this session, I have double sweetness actually. Number one, it is an alumni matter. That is, I am an alumni of CET. So this topic discussion was put forward by CETians. So that is one thing. Second, this was planned and executed by CG International Third Generation Leadership Global Pathways. Basically, Amal, Hakmala, and Mehak, they put a huge amount of effort for that. So I appreciate with my from my deep-hearted love for that effort and hard work. Akmala, you want to share this thing, right? Hello, Akmala.
I think she can't unmute because she's sharing the screen.
Already shared?
She's trying to share the screen. That's why she can't unmute. That's what I guess.
Okay. I should wait, or I can tell the recognition directly to Amal. Akmala, could you please respond? So anybody there to give us a comment on the past session through audio? Could you please? Within that time, Akmala can share that certificate. Anybody from CET is there available? Samad or Rajesh? Or any students? Could you please share your comments on this? No way out? Okay. So I think I will tell the whole recognition and love towards our Amal Amin for his effort and the whole work he has done very smoothly and very sweetly. Thank you, Amal, for that. And inshallah, we'll be going forward for giving more idea about this GCC studies for the society and community. So let me conclude with, yeah, it's coming up. Thank you, Akmala. So, certificate of appreciation proudly presented to Amal Amin in recognition and sincere appreciation of your valuable contribution as guest speaker at the session titled Engineering Your Future in Saudi Arabia, Opportunities and Insights, organized by Global Pathways, held on Saturday, 18th October 2025. Your insights and experience have enriched the session and inspired aspiring students and professionals. Thank you, Amin. Thank you so much for that. keep in touch and keep the thumb. Thank you, Akmala, for
Definitely,
sharing
sir.
that. Okay, thank you so much. So we have shared our Insta account, so you can touch with us for any help you need in the global education scenario, especially the education spectrum and terrain is changing as far as the Indian students are concerned. So we are here to help you, and we will help you as much as possible. So thank you so much for all participants for making this program success, and our Global Pathways team also. Thank you so much. And back to Mehak. Mehak, please.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Sal. So by this, we are concluding our session. Once again, I'd like to sincerely thank Naushad sir and also our keynote speaker, also the organizing team and all other participants for making this session possible. And also a special thanks once again to our speaker, Mr. Amal Amin, for for his time, wisdom, and also for all the encouragement. And I finally heartfelt thanks to all the attendees for your active participation. So with that, we formally conclude today's session. Thank you so much. If someone wants to connect, you can connect through Instagram. The link is already shared in the chat box.